Hi, it's Maija here, and I decided to take part in the 30-day book binge, which is hosted by Misty from the Book Rat, and the goal is just to read for every day for 30 days in July. I'm trying to film these little updates of my reading, so if you are seeing this, it means I actually remember to vlog. It's now July 3rd, so the third day of the reading challenge, and on day one I didn't really feel like reading, so I just read one personal essay from the collection, the Lightspeed magazine special edition called Queers Destroy Science Fiction. I have read all the short fiction from that. There are just personal essays left at the end, and they are like something that you can read in 2 or 3 minutes. So I read one of those personal essays right before I fell asleep on the first. So that wasn't the greatest start. So then it was Monday the 2nd, and the yearathon readathon started. And the Yearathon has different themes for each month, and this month's theme was TBR Catch Up. So I think it meant like reading shorter books to catch up on your Goodreads challenge or whatever challenge you are doing. But since I have already completed my Goodreads challenge, thanks a lot to a lot of Full Metal Alchemist volumes, I decided to take this as a challenge to pick up something that I've owned for a while but haven't read yet. So I decided to start reading The Abyss Surrounds Us by Emily Skrutsky. So I'm reading this on my Kindle, and it's a young adult novel, a science fiction fantasy mix sort of. I've only read 4 chapters so far, and it has been about this girl who trains these sea monsters that protect the ships from pirates. The pirates have just attacked, so I'm looking forward to continuing this. I do know that there is a female-female romance in this one, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that develops. So that's my progress so far, 1 personal essay, 4 chapters of a young adult novel, and I will be back soon to tell you what I've read. Today is Wednesday the 11th, so as I feared, I'm pretty bad at vlogging, so maybe this will be more of a few reading updates sort of video than a vlog, but we'll see what I do during the rest of the month. But I am still reading The Abyss Surrounds Us on my Kindle. I am steadily reading this on my commutes and on my lunch hours. I'm now 75% through. I hope to finish it today. I'm really enjoying it. I think a young adult book is perfect for something to read on my commutes. The other stuff that I've been reading on the side has mostly been comics. Last Thursday I finished Full Metal Alchemist Volume 16, and this is sort of a start of another new arc, and there are new characters introduced, and it always takes me a while to warm up to new characters. Like, it took me the longest amount of time to accept Ling, who was a character who came in the last new arc. So I am interested to see where this is going. I just want to see all my favorite established characters, but I'm sure I will love the new characters as well. Then Friday the 6th was the first day that I didn't read anything at all. So that has been the only day so far. I was drawing a lot instead. There's this draw this in your style hashtag trend going on Instagram, where people post their own characters and then other people draw them in their own style and post them. And it has been a lot of fun. I drew a bunch of characters last Friday, and I had a lot of fun. But then I went back to reading The Abyss Surrounds Us. This week on Monday I read Snot Girl Volume 1, Green Hair Don't Care, and Snot Girl Volume 2, California Screaming by Brian Lee O'Malley and Leslie Hung. I got these from the library. I had read Volume 1 before, and I was sort of torn about it because I wasn't that into it, but then the ending made me really interested. But sadly, I just couldn't get into the second one either. I just think this series isn't for me, which is pretty much a big shame, because I really love Scott Pilgrim by Brian Lee O'Malley and his other works, but I just can't get into this. I can't grasp it. It's sort of disjointed for me. It's just not for me. I also started Yö ei saa tulla, which sort of translates to The Night Must Not Come by Tiina Raivaara, and this is a Finnish horror novel based on E.T.A. Hoffmann's The Sandman. And I read a few chapters from the beginning. I just read about 20 pages or something, and I really like the writing style, so I will finish this as well. And then I should really start reading My Favorite Thing is Monsters by Emil Ferris. This is a chunky graphic novel that was nominated for the BookTube SFF Awards, and it's also nominated for 5 Eisner Awards, so I really need to pick this up. I think the main character is a young girl who imagines herself as a werewolf. It's as if she's 10-year-old Karen Reyes, and this is sort of her diary. It's on lined paper, and it's sort of her diary as she investigates her neighbor's murder, I think, and it has this theme of a B-movie monsters tied around it, and I'm really interested to see what this is about because I don't know anything more than I just said about it. So that's my update for today. I hope to finish The Abyss Surrounds Us today and start My Favorite Thing is Monsters. So it's Saturday morning and I'm on my way to work. I had the Friday off, so now I'm working on Saturday, and I bought Tiina Raivara's book with me. It is the 14th, which means that FinCon starts today. It's not in my city, so I am going to go there tomorrow. It's on Saturday and Sunday, so I'm gonna go there on Sunday, even though it's a bit quieter then. And I did finish yesterday. I finished The Abyss Surrounds Us, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 3 stars. It was fun, but I didn't love it. But it's a duology, so I'm gonna read the second one also. And then I started reading My Favorite Thing is Monsters. Did I remember the title right? Well, anyway, I started reading that. I'm not sure what I think about it yet, but the weather is absolutely gorgeous here, as you can maybe see. Anyway, talk to you later. It's now Tuesday the 17th and I just filmed a book haul, so I thought I'd also film a little reading update for you guys. I have not made much progress with Yö ei saa tulla. I'm only 5 chapters in. I do like what I've read so far, but I have been reading other stuff. On Sunday I went to FinCon, which is the science fiction and fantasy convention, and on the train journeys I started reading Just One Damned Thing After Another by Jodie Taylor, which is this fun time travel adventure story. I am now 30% in. It is quite in the early stages. It's about this woman who is accepted into this research institute, which turns out to be time travel. So there are a lot of historians there. She's a historian. She has been on a couple of time travel missions so far. I am interested to see what the main plot is, but so far it's a lot of fun. It's quite easy to read. I did read the 30% in quite a short amount of time on the train. And then I am a bit over halfway through My Favorite Thing is Monsters by Emil Ferris. I'm up to here, and I'm not quite sure how I feel about this. I was actually considering DNFing it because the topics it tackles is just not for me. There's like child abuse and World War II, which are both topics that I don't really want to read about. I think I will finish it because I am over halfway through. I read quite a big chunk of this yesterday, but I don't think I am the target audience for this. But I will update you how I felt about that graphic novel later on. It's now Friday the 27th, so I haven't updated you in a while again, but I have an excuse, which is that there's this huge heat wave in Finland right now. We have about over 30 degrees Celsius. That's over 90 in Fahrenheit. I know that might not be a lot for a lot of you guys, but remember that we're Finnish. We are not used to this. And also, Finnish apartments usually don't have AC. We don't have AC. And I happen to work in an old building, which also doesn't have AC. So it is 86 degrees or 30 Celsius where I work. I haven't been able to focus on reading a lot, so I have been reading mostly comics because I just haven't been able to concentrate on reading a book. But I did finish My Favorite Thing is Monsters by Emil Ferris. It just won an Eisner, the combined writer-author Eisner, I believe, and I think it is very well deserved, and I do appreciate all the hard work that has gone into the comic or the graphic novel, but it just wasn't for me. The topics, it just wasn't for me. It didn't really do anything for me. So I gave it 2 stars, which is my not for me rating. but I encourage you to check it out if you're interested in it, because this is just my personal taste. I also read another Eisner Award winner. I read Black Bolt Volume 1 by Saladin Ahmed, and now I forget the artist, but I'll put it on the screen. This won an Eisner for Best New Series, I think. It was fine. I gave it 3 stars. I upped the star rating a bit because I really, really loved the colors. And it was this prison break thing. It was about this king of the Inhumans, Black Bolt, who wakes up in a prison and has to figure out how to get out of there and what is going on in the prison, because no one is supposed to know about it, but there are a lot of weird people there. It was sort of a gritty prison break thing, and I enjoyed it okay. I'm not that big into Inhumans, so... There was a really cool character, a Skrull woman character, and I hope that there would have been more of her in it. And then I read volumes 17 to 20 of Fullmetal Alchemist. I didn't really enjoy volume 20 that much. I think it felt a bit too much like a setup thing where people had to move to different places for the finale, because this has 26 volumes, so I only have 6 volumes left. I didn't enjoy it, but I did have a headache from the sun that day, so that might come into some account, but I also think it wasn't that great. But I am very interested to see where this goes. So like I said, I am not that far into my reading of actual books. I am still reading just one damn thing after another on my Kindle, and I am now about 50% through. And the title of the book is actually quite good a description of what the story is like. But I am enjoying it so far. And I did put Yö ei saa tulla completely aside. I will finish it perhaps next month, but I haven't made any progress in that. And I did get on overdrive A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Anglais, and I started reading it. I read the first chapter, but I don't think I have enough time to actually start reading the book, actually finish the book before it goes back. But I just thought I'd update you and tell you that I read the first chapter. I like the first chapter. I haven't seen the movie, so that's it. That's my update for today. Hopefully I will update you before the end again. So this ends on the 30th when Booktubeathon begins. It is now August, so I didn't film another update, and this is a wrap-up instead. So let's recap what I read in July during the 30-day book binge. I didn't start off with a bang. Instead, I read one personal essay from the collection Queers Destroy Science Fiction during the first day, right before falling asleep. But on the second day I started a novel. I started The Abyss Surrounds Us by Emily Skrutsky, which I ended up finishing, and I gave 3 stars. I enjoyed it, and I will read the second one in the duology. Then the heat wave struck, and The Abyss Surrounds Us ended up being the only novel that I finished entire July. The rest of the stuff that I read were comics, because I just couldn't focus on reading a novel in that heat. So the comics that I finished, what did I read? I read 5 volumes of Fullmetal Alchemist by Hiromu Arakawa. I read volumes 16 to 20. These I gave ratings ranging from 3 stars to 4.5 stars. Then I read Snot Girl Volume 1 and 2 by Brian Lee O'Malley and Leslie Hung, and this I gave 2 stars. And I also read My Favorite Thing is Monsters Volume 1 by Emil Ferris, which I also gave 2 stars. And the final comic that I finished was Black Bolt Volume 1 by Saladin Ahmed and Christian Ward, and this one I gave 3 stars, my rating being raised a bit by the beautiful colors in the comic. The last few days of the book binge went a bit like the first day had been. I didn't really find the motivation to read and really struggled to at least read something during those days. The beginning and the end weren't that great, but in the middle I did finish one novel and read a bunch of comics. I started reading 2 other novels. I started reading Just One Damn Thing After Another by Jodie Taylor, and I got halfway through that one. And then I started Yö ei saa tulla by Tiina Raivaara, and I only read about 10% of that one. Because I only finished one novel during the entire July, I am now desperate to actually finish something. It hasn't happened yet in August, but I'm gonna make sure it will soon, because I can't handle this. I think I'll take part again in one of these 30-day book binges. Misty does these periodically. I can't remember how often, but many times during the year. So the heat wave during this one just didn't work for me and reading, and I hope I will take part in another one with better results. But apart from the reading, this was the first longer vlog that I have ever made. So I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I will see you in my next video.